Word on the street is that Christian Combs is in full-blown panic mode, and fans think it's for a very good reason. Rumors are swirling that Christian may be way more involved in his father Diddy's legal mess than we initially thought. But here's where it gets even wilder. Insiders are saying Christian has been secretly cooperating with the feds against his own father. If true, this would explain his recent behavior, trying to lay low, staying quiet on social media, and keeping his distance. Sources claim he's scrambling to protect himself, but it's reportedly causing serious tension within the family. In particular, Christian's sisters are said to be furious, feeling betrayed by his alleged deal with the feds. So, what does this mean? Did Christian really cut a deal to save himself? Could Diddy retaliate by cutting him out of his will? The drama is reaching a boiling point, and fans are convinced Christian is about to be exposed as a snitch. And let's be real, if we had to guess which one of Diddy's kids would be the first to flip, Christian wouldn't even make the top of the list. That spot would go to Quincy. Why? Well, for starters, Quincy isn't Diddy's biological son. His real father, Al B. Sure, has a long-standing grudge against Diddy. Plus, Quincy is the only one of Diddy's sons who hasn't been named in any lawsuits. That distance alone puts him in a very different position. As this family saga unfolds, it's clear that things are far from calm behind the scenes, and Christian may be at the center of it all. So yeah, let's be real, if we had to bet on who would fold first in the Combs family, Christian wouldn't have been our top pick. Honestly, child, we would have expected the girls to break before him. They're younger, more sensitive, and in the thick of a lot of drama themselves. But nope, they held it together. And now fans are convinced that it was Christian who cracked under pressure. Now, I know a son snitching on his own father might sound wild, but when you really think about it, maybe we shouldn't be that surprised. For starters, Christian has his own legal mess to worry about. And if the feds came to him with a deal? Let's be honest, he might have seen that as his only way out. But before we get into his legal drama, let's talk about how Christian has always had a big mouth. He stays running it and somehow ends up spilling tea on Diddy, whether intentionally or not. Like, he has zero filter. It's almost like he can't help himself, and every time he opens his mouth, it makes things worse for the whole family. Take last year, for example, y'all remember when Homeland Security raided Diddy's properties? Both Christian and his brother Justin were detained during that raid. You'd think that would have been a wake-up call for him to lay low and stay quiet, right? Especially knowing that the feds don't move unless they're building something serious. But no, Christian thought that was the perfect time to drop a song with lyrics that basically admitted the feds missed some of the evidence. Yeah. He really said, knock them walls down like when them Fetty boys running both our cribs / too bad they ain't know we bought the one next door, cause that's the one they missed. Then he kept going with, how y'all talking like a ninja time up throwing shade / get your shines up / asking where my pop's at. He on the G6, get in the lineup. Sir, what? So not only is he allegedly cooperating with the feds, but he's also out here rapping about what the feds didn't find? It's giving messy. It's giving loose lips. And if this is how he's been moving, it's no wonder people think he might have made a deal. And trust, that's not even all. And let's not forget, Christian even tried to come for 50 Cent after 50 trolled Diddy online. In what many are calling a completely tone-deaf move, Christian dropped a bar saying, I dare one of you ninjas scream out, no Diddy / when. All they had was 50 Cent who put the city on the map / stop lying. Pop's been hated on by many men, and man that's fine / they gonna try to stop these MNMS, and they gonna die trying. Phew. Really, it's giving reckless. But it also makes you wonder, was this really just a diss, or was Christian low-key trying to send a message? If he is cooperating with the feds like the streets are saying, what better way to pass along clues than by sneaking them into a track under the guise of art? If that's the case, it's actually pretty strategic, but here's the real question. Why would he snitch on Diddy? Well, it may not be because he thinks Diddy is guilty, but rather because Christian might be afraid that he's headed down the same path. A lot of people believe Christian is trying to get ahead of things because he's seen firsthand just how deep the feds are digging into his father's business. With Diddy possibly facing up to 20 years in prison, Christian probably realized that if he doesn't act now, he could be next. Let's not forget, Christian has his own legal issues. He's been fighting a serious lawsuit for over a year, trying to get it dismissed, but the judge keeps shutting him down. And honestly, it's not hard to see why. Back in April of last year, Christian was sued by a yacht stewardess named Grace Omar. Diddy was also named in the suit. According to the court documents, Omar, who was 25 at the time, was working aboard a super yacht called Victorious during December 2022, which Diddy had leased for the holidays. Omar alleged that Diddy had full control over the yacht and staff. The lawsuit claims that the vibe on board quickly shifted from a family vacation to a non-stop adult party, with a constant rotation of suspected adult workers and celebrities like French Montana and Cuba Gooding Jr. present. The staff, according to Omar, were treated poorly. Some of the workers were allegedly passed out around the yacht, and there was so much chaos that it became unclear which bottles of alcohol were laced and which were safe, but the most serious part of the suit focuses on Christian himself. Omar claims that Christian repeatedly tried to touch and sexually assault her. Though she managed to avoid him at first, she says things escalated. On one particular night, Christian allegedly demanded she find him a place to sleep. Since there were no free cabins, she suggested the cinema room. The problem? That room had only one way in and out. The lawsuit claims that once inside, Christian blocked the door, cornered her, and began to grope her aggressively. She retreated into a corner, trying to avoid him, but he continued the unwanted advances. The entire incident, as described in the documents, paints a deeply troubling picture. So when you look at everything, Christian's reckless lyrics, his potential cooperation with the feds, and his own legal troubles, it starts to make a lot more sense why he might turn on his father. It might not be about guilt or loyalty. It might just be about survival. It continued. Pliff kept pushing him away, but Christian Combs allegedly became more aggressive. According to the lawsuit, he undressed and acted inappropriately, attempting to force himself on her. The plaintiff fought back, and shortly after, her partner entered the room, which startled Christian and gave her the chance to escape. The lawsuit also claims that after she tried to report the incident, she was fired. She later revealed that the emotional toll became overwhelming. Her relationship ended, she developed anxiety and panic attacks, struggled with an eating disorder, and even experienced thoughts of self-harm. When the lawsuit was initially filed, Diddy's legal team responded on Christian's behalf, saying, "We haven't seen this woman's claim, but we expect the same kind of fabricated story we've come to associate with Tyrone Blackburn and his clients." They argued that the media, not a court, was how they learned about the case. Despite multiple efforts to get it thrown out, the judge has repeatedly denied their requests, and now, it's been confirmed that the case is heading to a jury trial. This could spell serious trouble for Christian. With his father's own legal issues making headlines, it's going to be tough to find jurors who don't already have strong opinions. The pressure is on, and word is, Christian might be cooperating with federal investigators to save himself. This has reportedly caused tension in the family. While Diddy's children have been putting on a united front, standing by their dad, Christian's alleged cooperation is seen by some of his siblings as betrayal. Technically, it's 6 siblings, since the youngest is just 2 years old and unaware of the situation. If Christian is turning on Diddy, it not only damages the family's public image, but could increase the chances of Diddy facing real consequences. And the stakes are incredibly high. Before all this, Diddy was a billionaire, but now, reports say his net worth has dropped to around $400 million. That's still a fortune, but there's more. Prosecutors are also going after his assets, claiming he used his wealth to fund a criminal operation. If proven, he could lose almost everything under federal forfeiture laws. This is hitting the family hard, especially the twins. Diddy is their only surviving parent. Without him, their financial future looks uncertain. They've lived extremely lavish lifestyles, and with no college or career plans, it's unclear how they'll adjust. So, it's no surprise the siblings might resent Christian for what they see as disloyalty. But what do you think? Is Christian doing what he has to do to protect himself, or is he betraying his own family? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to check out the next video.